The year is 2001. The Leaning Tower of Pisa in Italy finally opens up for tourism after being closed for 11 years for renovations. The first space tourist paid his way up to the International Space Station, and Nintendo released the very first Paper Mario game in Europe, featuring the famous plumber exploring a world of paper in a 2.5D world, where he meets tons of companions and ventures out to save Princess Peach in a mix of turn-based RPG and platforming. 3 years later, the sequel follows on the GameCube with even more paper folding RPG mechanics, but after that, the franchise gets rid of the RPG mechanics and leans more into platforming. I was young at the time and still had hopes and dreams, waiting for something that resembles the game of my youth. While games like Bug Fables came out that scratched that itch a little bit, nothing came close to the wonders that I experienced back then. But lo and behold, a new challenger rises up like dough in an oven. No, quite literally actually. I'm talking about Born of Bread, which released on December 5th in 2023 and was developed by WildArts Studio. While not made out of paper anymore, we play the flour golem loaf, who was made by Papa Baker by accident, just like me. Kinda reminds me of the old Slavic fairy tale Kolobok, where an old couple scraped together their last remaining food to bake something, just for the small round bun to suddenly come to life and run away. What a bastard. In this case, Papa Baker declares us immediately as his son, and while we make our way to crash the dinner of the Queen of Royal Town, a bunch of meddling professors release 5 beings of the Amber Empire from a 1,000-year-long slumber. Making their way to the Royal Town and realizing that the Empire is gone and now the Royal Town sits on top of the ruins of the Empire, they hatched a plan to get the Sunstone shards to bring back what is gone. So while we crash the Queen's dinner, they do exactly the same, taking the first shard and hit us like a baseball home run into the faraway forest. After making our way back into the town, Papa Baker gets arrested for being a brat warlock, and it puts us on the journey to prove Papa's innocence and collect the Sunstone shards to thwart the plans of the Amber Empire group. Over the course of the game, you meet 4 companions like Lynn the raccoon or Yagi the goat that travel with you through forests, mountain ranges, winter wonderlands, and even a tropical pirate landscape. While giving their take on story events with tons of reaction phases, they also help you with combat. Oh yeah, talking about combat, let's talk gameplay. While you are on your journey in a 2.5D world, the game comes with a Paper Mario-like turn-based combat. You and your partner attack with the moves, which are either timing or skill-based, like keeping a point in a circle, do button inputs, hold a button, or press a button at a certain time. In that case, the battle system rewards precision and timing with increased damage. Speaking about damage, the game features a set of strengths and weaknesses that every enemy has. Your skills come with attributes and types. Attributes can be leaf, apple, flame, ice, and so on, where the type can be a hammer, a star, or a sword. Depending on the strengths and weaknesses, you do either more damage or less damage. Adding debuffs to the attacks like sleep or attack downs, you can be rather strategic about what you do. Though the game is rather laid back and the fight's not that challenging, one might ask why there is a need for an intricate strengths and weaknesses system. On the other hand, it adds some welcome depth that can lead to your own favorite strategy. The battle system also features some sort of in-game livestream chat like Twitch chat that can be opened up for some funny comments while you battle, complete with some trash talk and spammings. If you build up hype, you get back willpower points for your attacks, and sometimes chat drops you a task like doing an attack or use an item. If you fulfill those tasks, you get additional willpower points back. To get more attacks for your loaf, you simply buy or find new weapons like a pickaxe, a shish kebab, or an ice sword and equip them in your backpack. To make things a little bit more complicated, you have to arrange your weapons like Tetris blocks in your backpack. By the way, for every level up you get stamps where you decide if you want more health, willpower points, weapon attacks, or resolve points for special attacks. After that you can get 1 stamp for either increasing your backpack size or an additional boon slot. Boons are kinda like medals from Paper Mario. They give you increased stat points, or for example make you immune against some stuff. Throughout the game you are free to rearrange those boons whenever you want. For more attacks for your companions, you have to find hidden geckos throughout the world that you can exchange with skill points at the mysterious strangers that you meet at different locations. After that, you can learn new skills for your companions, and you can choose 1 active skill for every layer of the skill tree. So even here, you can mix and match everything to your liking. Speaking of finding hidden geckos throughout the world, let's talk about exploration. Each area of the game is fairly sized and invites you to explore. including some light platforming or obstacles where you need the ability of your companions. For example, Link can burrow through dirt piles to open up pathways, or Yagi can manifest shrooms in the spirit realm that help you traverse the landscape. For some of those obstacles, you have to wait till you find a companion for it, giving you some Metroidvania vibes to go back to old places and explore what you missed. While doing so, you can find the already mentioned geckos, hidden chests that contain weapons or boons, and also tons of pop culture references. For example, there's a goat Kakui in the Holy Highlands that looks like Sasuke from Naruto, who actually uses a fire jutsu like in the original, or Shuin-chan that resemble Team Rocket. There are also tidbits that you can check out in houses in the various towns that contain some funny dialogues. Sometimes you also come across some minigames like jumping over a Nimbus cloud or solving a mystery of a cursed mansion. You can also find side quests scattered across the world that net you additional weapons or items to use. Most of the time, those feature funny dialogues and are of different types, like finding a stolen item or help a pirate crow learn the code of the pirates. But some of the side quests are more tedious, like bringing items from every area of the game to this one quest giver, or backtrack to the previous area. Those kinda take away from the pacing and feel more like a fetch quest, to be honest. All the characters in the game have a distinct character, where for example Lind is a scaredy cat but is still very brave. Yagi is ever pushing forward and just wants to chop things in his innocent yet heroic style. The characters also complement each other and everyone gives a statement to the situation at hand. And oh god, the puns. Have I told you guys about the puns? Sometimes it feels like every dialogue choice is a pun, which I actually love. I mean, I'm German, you guys know how funny we are, right? Anyways, while the game feels great to play in general, there are some slight minus points in my opinion that bitter the experience. The menu UI is a bit overloaded. For example, to change your companions, you have to navigate to a submenu of a menu, while Paper Mario had a quick access for that. Or when you want to save at a save point, you get asked if you want to save and it defaults to no. I mean, who approaches a save point just to not save? Sometimes the camera is a bit in the way as well. For example, when you move south, sometimes you can't see what's in front of you, making you fall into a pit or an enemy jumping at you. Arranging your backpack gets tedious because you can't just move things around in a backpack. You have to scroll through all available weapons and select the one you want to move. Also, every time you pick up an item on the ground and your item backpack is full, you have to scroll all the way down to see what item it is. Most menus also don't allow you to press up to go immediately to the end of the list. All the things don't take much time, but it adds up. You know what guys, let's head to more pleasant things, the graphics and the music. To put it simply, in my eyes, the game looks simply gorgeous. The colors are vibrant and really pop. While taking inspiration from Paper Mario, the game does not go the paper route, but the environment is nicely presented and the character models feature tons of details, even if they are in 2D. Especially the facial reactions of the characters give me great Teacher Onizuka vibes, with Yagi being the king of pulling faces from shocked to bored or simply disgusted. The animation is great in the sense that it's simple and not supposed to be top tier. I also love the character designs, which feel more like an artistic choice rather than something that affects gameplay. I'm kinda torn on the animations mid-battle. While your companions have unique animations for their attacks, Lowe's weapons reuse the attack animations over and over again, just swapping the weapon skin. So even if your weapon's attribute is different, it still feels kinda samey. But taking a step back, it does fit the simple approach of the graphics style. A great plus though is that the background of the battle fits every area that you are in, giving it an immersive feeling. The music itself is a bit of a mixed bag. It does feel repetitive at times, but in general it fits the area you guys are in. Be it a frosty winter mix, an ethereal place in another world, or a holy temple in the mountains, or a tropical pirate place. You know what guys, how about you listen for yourself? So kick back and relax. So after everything has been said, it's time for the final conclusion. While I liked the overall direction of the game, I kinda have to say that the ending fell a little bit flat for me. The last dungeon and boss fight were rather short and not challenging at all, so everything was over rather quickly. But like in most things, the journey is the reward. The overall course of the game was pretty fun. It felt awesome to explore the world and meet various NPCs with funny dialogues. Most of the time I caught myself simply smiling, just because the game really reminded me of the fun I had with Paper Mario back then in my youth. Also, the laid-back style of the game made this a very relaxing and cozy experience. So in the end, I'm a little bit sad that the game was over. Overall, I would give this game a score of 7 out of 10, or maybe even better, 4 breads out of 5. I needed around 18 hours to finish the game, but that was mostly due to me rambling while streaming the game on Twitch. With more exploration and completing all the side quests, this game should push you over 20 hours. Also, the game is only 25 bucks, so all in all, this is a good cost to fun ratio and I can only recommend playing it. But yeah, that's it for today's review. I'm just starting out with this new content type, so thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I think I will do some more stuff like this in the future, so subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. As always, take care guys and happy gaming. Have a good one.